Hey everyone, Tristan back with another video. And this is my new Jackery Explorer 1000 solar generator. Basically it's a battery powered generator that I can charge via solar. It's got 1000-watt capability here and 1000 watt hours. I will review this later in my channel, but in this video I found a little quirk with this that I wanted to do a video on just so I can post it on the various forums and stuff like that, and maybe somebody watching will actually know what this is all about. Let me angle this here so we can see it a little better. As you know, if you're familiar with the Jackery solar generator, it has a flashlight button here on the left. So you just press that, it turns the flashlight on. Or if you hold it down, you can actually go into an SOS mode and it starts blinking there, as you can see. I have actually found that having this flashlight on actually will power one of the USB ports, even if the USB section is off. So that I think is kind of interesting. So we can kind of show that to you here. I just have a USB stick light, and if I plug it in here, so if I turn on this section here, you can see it turns on the USB light really bright. Then if I turn it turns off that USB light. But then I think the flashlight actually bypasses that, because if I turn the flashlight on, you can see it then turns on, even though this is off. If I put the flashlight into strobe mode, you can kind of see that it actually strobes the USB as well, which is kind of interesting. So if you don't want to strobe or SOS your USB slot, like let's say you have a smartphone plugged in here or something like that that you're charging, you probably don't want to turn on the SOS of the flashlight, because you probably don't want to strobe that charge. It may not be good for whatever you're charging. Interestingly, it's only this USB port that does this. If I turn on the flashlight, which it is on, and I go to the lower port, which is the quick charge USB 3.0 port, that is not on with the flashlight. That'll only then turn on if I turn on this section. The other thing is that it's only this port. The USB-C ports are not affected, and I can show you that here as well. I've got the flashlight turned on, and then I'll just use this USB-C to USB-A adapter. And you see here, if I plug this in, I don't have any power with the flashlight. It's not affected by the flashlight. I have to then turn that section on to then power it up. So I find this a very interesting quirk in that maybe it could be useful for some purposes, like if you want to hook up a USB strobe light or a red USB strobe light or SOS light to this USB port, you can do that and then you can strobe it. So that's kind of interesting. But in some ways it's not logical, because this button here is supposed to energize this section, and you see it's actually outlined. It's supposed to energize all the USB ports as well as the 12-volt DC. But then when you press this on, it only energizes that port. So in some ways, logically, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So this is kind of an interesting quirk with the Jackery Explorer 1000. I would be interested to hear from those who are very familiar with the Jackery, if this is something that's supposed to happen or that's normal. I did see another YouTuber who has this same issue with his Jackery, so it's not just my unit. It is something with the model. And who knows, maybe other Jackery models do that as well. But again, it's only the one USB port, the third one down from the bottom, that seems to be tied to the flashlight switch. None of the other USB ports have that. And how I discovered this is I was testing out this cool USB LED light, which is kind of cool. So this basically takes very little power. And it's really nice because it's kind of a soft light. A lot of USB light bulbs tend to be really blue and kind of harsh. This is great for nighttime reading and stuff like that. And it takes less than, you see right here, it's taking like less than 3 to 5 watts. So not really many watts at all, and yet it's quite bright. I would say this is probably as bright as a 60-watt incandescent bulb. And it comes with this little thing that you can hang it to, like if you're in a tent or workshop or working under your car or something, you can just hang the light. So this is kind of a handy light. I'll try to link to that in the description field below. But that's how I kind of discovered this whole thing. So again, if I go ahead and turn this section off, as you would expect, it's not energized. But then if I turn the flashlight on, it does energize. So it's interesting. So thanks for watching this video, and I would be interested to hear people's comments on this issue that I've discovered with the Jackery Explorer 1000. And stay tuned, because I will be reviewing this in my channel at a later date, along with the 2 Solar Saga panels as well, because this thing can actually be charged up with 2 portable solar panels to get basically totally free energy. See you in my next video.